It's us. We're here.
Hello,
I
hello.
I see lines doing line things.
Hello,
I guess we have
persons
audio.
on the interweb. Are we audible to thee?
I heard us.
I love how casually you talk about doing lines on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yep. What are you talking about?
I'm signed up to get demonetized immediately, so
No.
might as well lean into it.
I don't do line work, whether it's country dancing or inking, because I don't have the attention span to that.
That's some
There's a
good
guy I follow
artichokes.
on primarily YouTube, but he also streams on Twitch. And apparently, for a couple months, every time he was going to sign off of his Twitch streams, he would say, "And by the way, I'm 12." And so he would get banned for 2 weeks.
Oh my
And then would have to
god.
come back in. And he just kept doing it for a while until the joke wore off. But
Amazing.
it apparently worked.
Wow.
Fun.
There we go.
There's
So
so
I was
many
struggling
short
with my
queens.
volume control.
There's so many short queens that have that problem of just being small on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone's just like, is this young child? And you're like, no,
No.
I'm
gross.
just 5'4".
Yeah.
5'4".
You,
That's not
you
even that
deliberately
small
pick
for
a
these
height that's
internet-
taller.
Amazonian.
Mm-hmm.
Picked a height that's taller than all of the comics femme people we know.
All them small NBs running around.
Mhm.
Okay.
Whoop.
Hello, audience. I haven't seen any indication that our audience can hear us yet.
I can hear us. I can hear us.
Okay, cool.
Do we have an audience?
Sorta.
Hello,
It's-
audience. Are
Mm-mm.
you
We're
there?
good. We're audible.
Yeah. All right. Oh, there we go. I have a "you are audible."
Cool.
Hooray! I'm not just screaming in the darkness. Well, in that case,
I need dice.
let me
doing
say
great today.
the stuff I say. Hello, internet friends and webcomic fans. It's your friendly neighborhood dungeon biologist welcoming you to another episode of Trash Heroes, the D&D stream where we recount the epic adventures of a wildly improbable collection of horrible creatures known as the Trash Heroes. Our players, as always, are this lovely collection of talented internet cartoonists and art makers, thing creators, influencers, I don't know, whatever the term is these days, whatever the kids are saying.
Icons. Icons.
I'd rather line it influencer.
Indeed.
Traumatized future refugees.
There's lots
Queens.
of couches welcoming over here. You know.
And you can see, of course, all their links to various works in the corner of your screen or down below in the description if you're watching on YouTube. So please do support your local artists and check out their various social medias. Some of them are almost not owned by evil billionaires. Without further ado, let's meet the characters. First up, it's the Keeper of the Vermin, Protector of the Trash Heap, Fetid Quaggle.
That's me. Hi.
And next is the larger-than-life pit-fighting superstar, Oogna.
Me, your pal Oogna. That's it.
That's all we're going to say.
That's all I've got.
Absent this week is our trickster cleric, but then there is the wild magic streaming sensation, Morgan the Satyr.
Sex work is real work. Tip heavily.
And finally, our sweet old grandpa, who's also accidentally an ancient warlock, Copernicus Sunshine.
Horrifying catchphrase.
And yeah, when we last left our heroes, we actually spent a game session almost entirely in the same room.
I know.
So when we last left our heroes, it was occult research party going on at the Sunshine Manor, as the team did some work to try and contact their various allies for a great council of war, and researching the various legends and clues that they had gathered. They determined that many of the folks they wanted to contact were within the city of Ravenfall, so they made contact with the Lady Pudenza Direlust through Morgan's Sending Stone. and got some updates on the situation there. That the Raven cult and their puppet Baron Langarian were still running the city, but that they had no longer access to the Quaggle sewerways. The only teleportation circle in the city that the party knows of is the one in the Citadel of Ravenfall, which is held by the enemy. However, the team reasoned that the Thieves Guild likely has their own circle for smuggling purposes, and it was therefore decided to send an invisible Fetid with Copernicus's invisibility spell to go through the portal into the Citadel and sneak past all the guards and down into the sewers to make contact with your allies there.
Awesome.
From there, Fetid would be able to send animal messengers to your various allies, including the thief Eurus Gale, who Tromlin contacted with a sending spell to alert him to this plan. And of course, the Quaggles, and further messages would be sent to the Grand Dame Oogna Frostmaid. And hopefully, all of these allies would be gathered and brought to the council through the Thieves Guild's circle. Meanwhile, the party made contact with El Gato and Captain Darius Sunshine and extracted some promises to attend. And then Dangalf returned with a list of teleportation circle symbols from the Wizards of the Vale for many of the great cities of the world, which Copernicus has now added to his book. So you have a whole slew of possible locations that you can now get to. Tromlin continued to research his secret quest, studying the artifact known as the Clue and the sorcerer Cache the Deathless, who holds it. Learning that using the Clue would allow Cache to scry on his enemies if they so much as name him or the Clue, which might happen now that the party knows of Lord Kesh, who seems to be the same person who was named by the Baron. He also learned a lot of legends surrounding Cache, whose origins seem to be a lowly slave in the deserts of Ix, who somehow managed to bargain away his death so that he will never die. Copernicus then researched the great elf towers around the world and discovered a pattern that could be created on a map of the world, although a couple of the points are still hypothetical and unclear, but it gives a general idea that the center would be in the ocean near Nelmar Zesh, which could be the site of the huge Tower of Glorpus Vision. Also, this map gave a few rune symbols that Copernicus could research further. And the team also read quite a bit about black steel, the dark stone that Oogna's sword is made of, and some world mythology, and came to the conclusion that Copernicus would need access to the ancient libraries at Eldamar and the Temple of Throm to learn more about these things. And that brings us up to the day of the planned Great Council. So I'll start off by jumping to Fetid. So Fetid was turned invisible with Copernicus's spell, which he can concentrate on for, I believe, no more than an hour. Is that correct?
Got a tight time limit.
I'll look it up. I'm not sure if... Yeah, it is an hour. I'm not sure if Peter heard me.
So I'm
yes.
muted. Concentration up to 1 hour. Yeah.
Yeah. So you would have told this to Fetid that he had no more than an hour to get to where he would not need to be invisible anymore. Of course, Fetid can pass without trace on himself as well. And so the ritual circle unfolded on this big parchment on the floor. You cast the teleportation circle, and a hazy window appears, Fetid, which you can jump through. And you immediately find yourself in a huge chamber in the Citadel at Ravenfall that is got a number of guards in it, and they're all kind of like staring in your direction as this window in space has appeared out of nowhere that they did not expect. And they immediately level their spears at you, but it also becomes very quickly apparent that they can't see you as you begin creeping away from the actual window. Their eyes do not follow you. And
Right.
we'll start off with a stealth roll, just so I have a baseline.
Get my dice out.
as you sneaky your way into the Citadel.
That's very good. That is a 16 on the die, so that's what, like a 26?
Oh yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah, I think you have a plus 8 stealth.
All right,
So
that would
was
be a
24,
Too late.
Yeah.
but you also have a plus 10 to stealth from your pass without trace.
Oh, yeah, all right. So a 34, no
So
big
yeah,
deal.
just a 34. So they rolled really great. I've got an 18 on the die.
Wow.
So all they need for a perception bonus
It's a nat 20.
is what? They need a 16
I was-
plus 16. Do we even have? Let me just check. Some
I was
character
too
sheet
late to
now.
unmute, but Morgan would have given a little guidance of a smooch on the head. Mwah!
Aw.
Oh,
And now
yeah.
you have like a stain around your mouth,
Yeah.
Bleh.
like the shoe
Probably get that
joke when people put
disinfected
it
as
on the.
quickly as
Yeah,
possible.
that's what prestidigitation is for, okay? It's there
Yeah, I
and
mean,
ready on hand.
tetanus
But
shots.
not while he's looking.
You prestidigitate like a tunnel, like
Mhm.
you like push all the filth out of the way long enough to
Yeah,
do the
and then
kiss, and then
I put it back because you can soil
Yep.
things with
true.
prestidigitation, which is gross. But that's the thing you can do. So she definitely do that. For kissing babies, very
Yep.
similar to
Yeah.
kissing fetid. Kissing babies, just because they're so vulnerable. It's now practice to like put a little Sarani over your mouth so you can give them a little smooch, and then they
Yep.
don't get
little
sick.
prophylactic.
Yeah.
So you
Tell
don't
that to Robert friggin' Kennedy.
test their immune systems.
Yeah.
Oh no, he
Cool.
practices that. He wraps himself in Saran wrap on a regular basis for his homeopathy treatments.
Cool.
Morgan's done a Saran wrap dress at one point for sure.
Nice.
So, okay, so yeah, absolutely no chance that anybody spots you or hears you. They come forward as though one of the guards is about to stab the spear through the window to sort of go, what's going on. But of course, this window only lasts for a round. So within a few seconds, as they step forward, the window disappears again.
Right.
And you hear the guards sort of muttering a little nervously, and one of them, who seems to be in charge of this particular group, snaps at one of his underlings to go tell the mages something weird going on with the teleportation circle. And this one guard scuttles off. But of course, you now, you're in this chamber, which, has a big old door on it, but already many of the little ventilation shafts and sewerways within the citadel itself and leading down into the dungeons. So you quickly squeeze yourself into a grate and slither your way on down. You and Filth. I assume you got Filth with you.
Yeah, I would have taken him with me for sure.
Yeah, they discussed not sending Ollie with you because it would be very
Yeah,
hard to
he'd
sneak
get all
around
excited and jump on everybody.
and
Be
breathe a lot
awkward.
of fire.
Mhm.
So you make your way down into the sewerways to find your Quaggle buddies.
All right.
And you will not have difficulty being like a second home. You find that things are quite better defended down here. As soon as you come down from the sewerways, you find that some of the larger tunnels have been collapsed or sealed, and it is no longer very easy to get from the dungeons under the Citadel into the surrounding sewers and Quaggle mines. And when you find a little shaft you can squeeze through, you are immediately surrounded by a group of Quaggles. A handful of the weaselkin and goblins surround you with little sharpened sticks and knives. And halt! Who goes there?
It's me, Fetid Quaggle.
There's like a gasp from somebody. It's like, Fetid Quaggle. They mutter. It's like the hero of the North.
My theme song starts playing.
It starts with like a hawk and a loogie noise.
Yep. So just refresh my memory because it's been a while. I am here to do what exactly?
So you actually weren't there last session when they decided this.
Yeah.
So they wanted to try and contact so many different people in Ravenfall that in
Right.
the end, rather than trying to figure out how to send a bunch of sending spells, they managed to reach Morgan's sex cult leader, the Lady Direlust,
Yes.
and get her to give them some details on what's going on in town. So the Raven cult and the soldiers of House Langarian have taken over the city in Nightshade's absence, and you'll recall that Baron Langarian was in fact you guys had determined being mind controlled by his cousin, who is a high-ranking member of the Raven cult. And the Raven cult had also infiltrated the Thieves Guild, and who were being led by a ratkin called Cyril Sneer. But Tromlin had made contact with some of the dissatisfied thieves in the guild who were not happy about the Raven cult, and that was an elemental individual called Eurus Gale. So you've been sent to make contact with Lady Direlust and Eurus Gale, and of course the Quaggles,
Yes.
and to send an animal messenger to the Chilwins tribe, Morgan's tribe out in the wastes, in the hopes that representatives from the Thieves Guild and Lady Direlust and the Grand Dame or her representative from the Chilwins tribe can all be brought into the city and snuck into wherever you can access a teleportation circle. Obviously, the one in the Citadel is probably the much more difficult proposition, but Tromlin was able to make contact with Eurus Gale and confirm that there is a warehouse in town where the Thieves Guild have their own teleportation circle that they use to smuggle goods into Ravenfall.
Okay. Well, I guess I will start by informing the Quaggles of what's going on and the general plan. And then
And I guess this is all to participate in some kind of big war council because there's like big magic threats across the north, right? There's all this. There's this undead centaur army and their necrogog in the west. There's Gracchulus the wizard who kidnapped Nightshade in the north and is trying to do some kind of crazy ritual. And then there's this sorcerer, potentially this Lord Kesh in the east, who's got his crazy faceless creatures and cultists serving him, and some of the weird slime kraken.
All right. Yeah. So I'll fill in the Quaggles on the general gist of things. I wonder if it would make more sense to tell like the trash heap, since that's kind of like as close to the boss of this gang as we can find.
Boss of the Quaggles. The trash heap is in Mud Hollow though, so it's a little ways away.
Well, while I'm at it, I would also like to send an animal messenger there to fill in the trash heap as well. That might
was
be
what I was going to suggest. Yep, helpful. For sure.
So 2 animal messengers, and yeah, I'll just move from there.
Okay, so let's see here. So animal messenger is. Where is it? Animal messenger is the free one that you can do. Why didn't I just put the spell on your sheet? Instead, it's just it's just the thing that rangers can do. Because now I don't know what level it is. I'm just going to pull up the 5e Ranger page, and then it's got it there. Here we go. Oh yeah, I guess technically it's not animal messenger. It's like animal friendship, and then you send the animal with a
Right, to
note.
go do a thing.
It's it's like animal charm. It's not the thing where an animal becomes like a little zombie and
Yeah.
your
Animal
voice comes out of it. You just got like written notes that you hand to the an animal that you have befriended and send off. So yeah, so that's only a first level spell then, animal friendship. So you can do speak with animals. You can do without using a slot. You can just take your time with the ritual version. So you find a couple of birds and have a quick chat. A couple of the ravens of the north that hang around the tower all the time. And get one of them to take a note to the Chillwinds tribe out on the icy wastes, and one to go to Mud Hollow with a note for the Quaggles to take to Madam Trash Heap, informing both of them about the crazy stuff that's going on. And I don't think Fedid's like illiterate or anything, is he? No.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. He
Just
didn't take
stinky.
that flaw. So you can
I am a
scribble out.
learned kobold.
Yep. I mean, you got to be able to read like signs. That's how you figure out where people are storing the good stuff.
Yeah.
So Morgan, I think we hand waved some of this, but I'm assuming you would have given Fedid a specific location to go rendezvous with Lady Direlust.
Yeah.
And she was the one put in touch with Eurus Gale, since she has all those contacts throughout the city. So
I think I'd be advising her to wear a certain perfume, and then I would give Fetid a little hanky,
Hippie sniff. Yep.
yeah, that he can take with him.
yep, you wave the hanky to indicate you're trying to teach him how to speak the slut cant.
Yeah. I'm sure everyone by now has probably memorized like the little like, hey, what's up? Maybe.
Not,
Yeah,
not
we
me.
know the basic.
I suspect Oogna
Not
still
Oogna.
hasn't noticed.
Yeah.
Bromlin specifically rolled on his linguistics to like learn some of this.
Tromlin's like
Language that he's
practically
got.
fluent.
Yep.
There's a lot of handkerchief language.
Like semaphore, kind of.
Yeah.
Semaphore.
Yeah. boot and armor lacing colors and like nodding styles, carabiners, certain
You
types of
teach-
harnesses,
You teach Fetid how to do a particular like sort of coquettish face cover with the handkerchief move.
mhm.
He's like,
He ate the first 4,
Sure.
but like that's on me.
Eventually, I got the hang of it, though.
Handkerchief of it.
Hey.
Hey.
boom. Excellent. Okay, so yeah, you basically kill a little time by getting your animal messengers sent off and filling in the Quaggles, because there's going to be like a set point when you're supposed to go to a particular location to meet. So you make your way to this random rundown little shack of a house in the bad part of town, and you go around the back where there's a little alleyway, and you were instructed to like knock on the back wall in a particular spot, which you do, and when you do so, a big old wooden bin, like a dumpster, sort of slides several feet to one side on little grinding wheels, and there's an opening which you can pass through.
All right, I'm going to scuttle on through.
And inside there's an actually somewhat well-appointed little room. Still, it's dark and dingy, but yeah, a little the same kind of harness hanging from the ceiling and random straps and things that you recall from the last place that you met this person. And then there's like a sort of hastily set up rough wooden table and a couple of chairs that's been set up in the middle of the room. And sitting at that table are 3 individuals. You recognize Lady Direlust the very, very tall and statuesque tiefling lady with her slinky black dress and her big horns, her ram's horns. And then sitting next to her is a slight, kind of nondescript man looking a little haggard, a little bit of a scruff of a beard, with bluish skin and very, very pale, almost white eyes. I think you might have seen him. I can't remember if you, I think when Tromlin went to meet with him, I think you were
The
spying on
description
them.
sounds familiar, so
I think you were
even if
following
not
along.
in character, I
Yeah, I think you recognize him. You haven't spoken to him before. And then the third individual sitting at the table with him, you don't recognize, and he is a somewhat burly dwarf in a heavy travel cloak with his hood pulled up, covering basically all of his face is either hood or beard. There's a nose in the middle, big round dwarf nose, but that's it. And
okay.
he's sitting with his feet off the floor because it's the same size chairs as the others. And you sneak in. Lady Direless stands up and says, "Yes, Fetid, was it?"
That's me. Hi. I am here to speak to you and potentially your friends.
Very well. This is the messenger I told you about, she says to the others. These are members of the Thieves Guild. Eurus Gale apparently already knows of your people. And this is Rocious Hound. He is another member of the local Thieves Guild who controls the warehouse where smuggling occurs. The dwarf just kind of nods, and Eurus Gale says, "Yes, I am. I've met with Tromlin Darioles previously. You are the little associate he spoke of."
All right. Well, it's a pleasure to meet y'all. Shit's fucked. And I do a little
Yes,
dance.
we've noticed. What can you tell me about this danger? All that I could, and actually, I just remembered Jeff wasn't there out of character, but they had it ascending to him, which means they were only able to give him like 20 words. So he knows a little bit more than that because I know, Morgan, you were back and forthing with Lady Direlust on the Sending Stone, so you were able to give her a little bit more info, but you didn't really fill her in on all these dangers. So Eurus Gale will say, what are these dangers to us here in Ravenfall? Do they have anything to do with the disappearance of her lady?
All right, and yeah, I'll fill them in on the context and how it relates to the disappearance of the lady and all of that.
I'm curious what Fetid's take on some of this is, though. So I want to kind of. I know we can just say you let them know, but like,
Yeah.
what would Fetid know to say? I'm just curious.
I think Fed would basically say like, okay, here's the rundown, here's what we know, and I would list, all of the various threats and be like, okay, so everything is converging all at once, and if we don't also converge all at once, it is going to be a total shit show, and everyone is going to get screwed, and it will be a bad time for everybody. So we need to form some sort of alliance or coordinate something to, just stop shit from getting even more fucked than it already is. Because it's so fucked. Like, it's so shitty and so fucked. And I kind of get stuck in a loop on those two words until everyone sort of starts looking at each other sideways. I'm like, all right, you get the point.
So you specifically mention that the Raven Wizard Graculus was doing some kind of a ritual to do some terrible thing in the north, and that's why he kidnapped Nightshade because
Yeah.
he's going to try and use her.
That would be the.
And then you
direct threat to
connect
her.
that to like there's a big threat in the west, there's an undead army and a plague, and there's a big threat in the east. There's a crazy sorcerer, summon weird slime demons,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all seems to be connected. And your friends are trying to get together a bunch of people, including like the Wizards of the Vale, and a bunch of like important people from Dwimmerdell and Karsh and all these big cities, and
Trying
they
to
want
find every
representatives from you.
non-asshole we can in a sea of assholes.
Okay. So I'm going to get you to roll me a persuasion, which you're very bad at.
This is getting too real,
That's gonna
Jeff.
be fun.
You're going to have a -1.
Yep.
Times are bad. There's a sea of
I'm
assholes
gonna
out
summon
there.
all of my charm.
But you have some pretty
Use the
significant
hanky.
assistance.
Use the hanky.
You have some pretty significant assistance here from
Oh
Ladies
wow.
and Arlust.
Okay, well that was almost the best I could have possibly rolled. That's an 18 on the die.
Ooh, nice.
Wow. Okay, so I was giving you a
That'll
bonus
do.
too.
Folks got through to them.
Yeah, actually, you're so vehement about like how bad it is. It kind of like it gets through. So, the air elemental dude and the dwarf kind of look at each other, a little worried as they hear all this, and when they ask, so what are you expecting of them? Lady Direlist fills them in. Basically, all they have to do is help to smuggle a representative or a couple representatives into that warehouse to use the circle, the teleportation circle, and you have a note with the symbols for Copernicus's teleportation circle, so that they can use it to go there. Which, by the way, doesn't work if you have it folded up. It only works if you've actually got that circle active. Which is kind of nice because you have like almost a one-way situation, right? You can go, I can come to those circles that are permanent, but they can't come to me unless I've got mine open
Right.
and ready to go. Okay, so over the next day, you have the Quaggles keep an eye out in the north because they, of course, still control the tunnels that the ice barbarians had once used to get into the city. And you go out and use your pass without trace on a group of the. I guess you'll get your animal messenger, since it lasts for a full day. The animal friendship, it will actually Raven will return with a note, a response from the Chillwinds, and the Grand Dame will say that she's sending a delegation. She can send two warriors and one of her own family to come to this council.
All right. And I will pass that on to the people that I just met with so that they know that stuff is actually coming together and
Yep.
we're not just blowing hot air.
I'm guessing I get that message from the Grand Dame.
You don't have a way to contact her, but
Oh, she has she has a rune stone
you mean
that we text
Lady
on.
Direlust.
Lady Direlist.
Yeah, the Grand Dame does not have one, but Lady Direlust, yes, once
God,
fetid.
can you imagine the selfies she would take?
Yeah.
It'd be awful. They'd always be from like right under her chin, like an old man.
Aw.
She'd be like,
Like
I don't have time for that.
Her and Purdy
Yeah,
could
yeah,
text back and forth.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Oops, that's the wrong folder. So, yeah, make me another stealth roll, but this time you're trying to lead your friends into the city unnoticed.
Okay.
So you can cast a pass without trace.
Yeah, definitely.
This is
for the-
frankly going to be the next day, so
Yeah.
you'll be fine for spell slots.
I'm rolling well. That is 14 on the die. So 14
Nice.
plus 8. Yeah, it's like a 32.
I rolled for them and I got a nat 20. So never mind. Like you like ghosts in the night. You and these three folks from the Chillwinds tribe come into the through the tunnel, the Quaggle tunnels into the city with absolutely no problem. You will recognize two of these three barbarians. You will recognize. Oh, where is that name? I might need Raven. Do you
It's
remember
Carl, right?
what was his
It's
name?
Carl. It's gonna be
I,
Carl that you send, correct? Right? Carl
yeah, it wasn't.
and Jed.
Carl was like your nickname. What was the actual name?
You're not sending my ex. Please tell me you're not sending me my ex.
It is indeed your ex.
It's gotta be your ex.
And I'm trying to find his name because it's not on your original handout.
It isn't. It isn't.
Carl the
I'll find
Barbarian
it
is
here.
so real.
Fates is its name.
Yeah. I kind of blacked that part of my life out as much as I could, both
Yep.
in and out of character. But I know what you're talking about. Let me
Yep.
bring it up.
But you will recall that he had become something of a
By the
political
way-
figure in the tribe.
By the way, if you haven't been watching North of North, watch it. It's incredible. It's on CBC Gem, the first season.
Oh, it's so good.
Otherwise, of other
Oh,
means,
yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
you need to watch it. Incredible. The antagonist, the
There it
husband who
is.
was left at the family gathering, is pretty much exactly who I wrote for Morgan's ex, and I was like screaming the entire time. It's pretty wild.
It is Yvonne was the name.
That bitch.
Yep. Basically Yvonne, but with an F in the middle and an
Mhm.
AE at the beginning. Like it's just funny because it's fawn. Get it? Ha ha ha.
Hey.
Probably the only reason we got along as kids.
Yep. Yes. The two that you recognize, Fetid, are a fawn, the one that Morgan seemed to have something of a problem with.
Uh-huh.
Although you didn't
That's
probably
weird.
pay
He
enough
seems fine to
attention.
me.
Yeah. He's kind of like a oiled muscles kind of looking barbarian. And then the two others that are with him, one is a woman that you don't recognize, and the other is one of the guards that you remember seeing at the Grand Dame's tent. The one who managed to, when the other guard that turned out to be a magically disguised bad guy,
Mhm.
this is the guard who managed to stab it.
All right.
And you guys were fighting it. And you manage very easily to sneak all three of them into the sewerways with the Quaggles. And then your Quaggle buddies lead you back to that safe house. And from there, you propose to sneak them all into the warehouse. So Eurus and Raucus, these two thieves, suggest that they can make sure that there's no that they basically that there's no Raven cultists around at a given time, and you and your Quaggle buddies can basically do the sneak up from the sewers and bring your little gang, the group. So there'll be 5 individuals plus yourself, the 3 Chillwinds barbarians, Lady Direlust, and Eurus Gale, the thief, that are all going to go through this teleportation circle.
All right.
So you all make your way in there. The dwarf pulls back his big sleeves and enacts the ritual using the little scrap of paper you gave him. And the hazy window opens again, and you all step through. So let me jump back, meanwhile, to the rest of these folks. So while Fetid was off on this quest to gather some of your friends, you made another attempt to do ascending on the following day to the maestro. And I'll remind you that you had made arrangements. You had told El Gato to make his way to Karsh, where he would hopefully connect with the maestro. And the idea was going to be that Dangalf knows the teleportation circle there, and he was going to go and collect the maestro and El Gato and bring them through. So all you really need to do is let the maestro know that this is happening. And then hopefully Captain Darius will be able to get there in time that he can come as well, but you have no guarantees of that, since he was like out at sea.
This feels like convention logistics, where we're
Oh,
like, okay, so the
God.
truck is leading it this time, but we need this person to get into town by then so that they can be part of the load-in. Otherwise, we have to figure out a second vehicle that, okay, hold on, but we'll be parked. Our vehicle will be parked. If we hand over the keys, we could, or we hide them. Yeah.
We've all
Okay,
been there.
so, yeah, I
Getting
think,
flashbacks.
so I think I'll get Tromlin's help with the casting so that we can get in touch.
Yep.
And I think in 25 words, I feel like the maestro probably has some kind of in lieu of magic thing that he can use to contact me back.
Well, remember, when you do ascending, the person you send to can respond with one response, like 25-word response immediately.
Yeah, I'm more worried that if I can't get everything across in 25 words and he can't get everything across in 25 words, it'd be nice to have like a conversation. Like, I'm sure that he, to avoid messaging rates on the message spell these days, has like come up with a back market VoIP kind of version of the message spell invention thing. But I think for 25 words, I'll say cousin. Critical world-saving meeting to be held at Sunshine Estate in Moorwindle tomorrow. Bring Dangolf, comma, El Gato, comma, Captain Darius, comma, and anyone of influence you can. I guess
Were you
and then
counting the word comma?
I was not. I was buying time by saying comma out loud. If I have any words left,
Gotcha.
I'll say Dan Golf will provide transport.
Okay. You're a little short there, but that's fine. It just cuts off. Dangalf will something along those lines. Cool. You get a response that starts with like, I'm going to count it as a word, but sort of like a noise of surprise and delight. That then becomes a oh my, how are you doing, my cousin Copernicus? I don't see you anywhere, but I can hear your voice. So you must be using some sort of magic to speak to me. I'm very interested in this gathering that you're speaking of. So I would like to cut. And somewhere in there, it cuts off.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave.
You can imagine he continued speaking for some time.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know how this spell works.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I'll leave them to figure it all out. They seem like smart chaps. Between a lot of them, they should be able to figure this out.
He's supposed to be a genius.
I mean,
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so that was the day before the scheduled event that you had set out. Dan Galf, of course, is still here, or was still here with you, and will head off through the teleportation circle back to the Wizard's Vale, with promise that he will go down to Karsh and contact the Maestro there, and a promise to return around midday the following day. So we kind of already hand waved a bunch of research. So the research you guys were doing last game, where we were talking out stuff you figured out, we'll just say is continuing here this day. And you all get a long rest the day of. Fetid will be down one pass without trace for getting all of these people into the warehouse secretly, but otherwise.
One of the calls we needed to make was also to, I'm not just saying this because I want a fancy tent, but our merchant friend.
So yeah, you didn't
yes.
have. Well, I guess you could use another sending to Sir Godfrey if you want, but like what you had discussed was with Darius, who told you that he had last seen Sir Godfrey in the jungles of the south. That's where he had dropped him off.
Right.
So you don't have a specific means to get him to this meeting.
Okay. Instead,
But you can
I'm-
certainly reach out to him and let him know what's happening if you've got a sending in mind.
I think we will. I don't think he's going to arrive on time. So instead, I think I'm going to lie to Dangolf and tell him that it's of critical importance for the council that he find us a Mordenkainen's incredible Lehman's tiny hut. What are we going for here? So I would like to try to lie to Dangolf.
Magical
One of
tent.
those.
Yeah, just to say that this is
For
critically
reasons.
important for the council.
We need it.
Yeah.
Okay. And he says, I'll see what we can do, when he disappears. So, anything else that you want to accomplish in the final hours of the morning before this all comes about? And presumably Lucretia has had her servants prepare the house.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll need to be able to host a lot of people, obviously. I don't think I can do much in terms of like planning to get to Eldramar or the Temple of Throm for learning more about how to reforge the blade.
Yeah, I mean, you can go there pretty easily because you have teleportation circles for both of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, the actual interacting with the people on the other side and doing research is not like an instantaneous proposition. So
Yeah.
probably want to save that for
Wait,
later.
save that for after.
Okay, then I think that's basically it. I think another crack at learning more about Nihil might be worth it. I think I didn't roll particularly well, so I got like kind of the beginnings of an answer, but not a ton.
No, you didn't do that one yet because you had reprioritized your list,
Right.
and we went through that. So you still haven't done. There was what else was there? There was the thing about dark ice, something like that. Where
Yeah,
is
the
it?
Dark Ice and Nihil.
Here we go. I've got the list. So you never looked further into what the full text of the Elanath does when read aloud, because you were focused on the rune magic stuff. You did do the explore potential connections with the rune magic, find out the connection between the rune magic and the towers, catalog the towers and see what connects them, learn more about Oogna's mother's blade and the missing runes. You did all of that, and the containment box you mentioned to me was previous. And you also looked into the black tentacle monster, and that was it. So
Right.
you still have a few things on your list that you wanted to research. You wanted to research more about the Elanath. You wanted to learn more about Nihil, and something about the Dark Ice rings a bell, and potential connections to the Raven Queen. More about the name Heligrim. More about the Necrogog. some historical information about the invasion of the Chaga Khan that happened in the past and what parallels there might be with what's going on now. And then what is the Maladvar?
Okay, so I feel like of those, either doing a reading of the Alanath, which as a group might be good to do because stuff started just happening, so all hands on deck could be
Yeah,
good for
that's
that.
true.
I don't necessarily have to be the one to read it either. So
Well, it depends on what you're trying to do there. If you're trying to read about the Elanath and find stuff about the Elanath in your old books, versus let's take this poem out and read it, is kind of, those are very different propositions.
I think I think doing both might be of interest. It does seem like it's tied to rune magic. If I seem to remember, a rune was activating while we were reading it
Mm-hmm.
last time.
Well, you read it out loud and something happened,
Yeah.
and you don't know
So
what it is.
I think either that or learning about Nihil. What do we feel is the more promising lead here?
I mean,
I think
Nihil's probably
the
more
runes.
relevant, but I love the idea of just reading a magic spell and who knows what it does.
Let's.
Yeah.
Why don't you give me?
We could
Let's
roll.
get a bunch of rolls here. I'd like an Arcana roll from each of Lucretia, Copernicus, and Morgan.
God damn this die. um,
Guidance with guidance, or if
Who you giving guidance to?
Perny.
Okay,
I'll
so
take
add a
it.
D4 to your roll, Perny.
I'm gonna historian myself as well.
That sounds dirty.
I just made historian.
Ooh.
So that'll be a +3, and then roll a D4.
Got a 4 on that, so thank you.
So +7
So
on
that
top of
brings
your
me.
Arcana bonus. Wow.
So 5 plus 10 plus 7 gets me to a 22.
I'm going to give you. You said you were having trauma and help you, so I'm going to give you an advantage on that roll if you want to re-roll it.
I very do. Okay, let's try my. Okay, I can't remember where I got these dice from. These are not the Gen Con dice, but we're gonna try these. Okay, that's better. So that gets me to a 28.
Woo.
Seems pretty good.
Okay, Lucretia. I've also rolled with advantage, and I think I'll do the same for Morgan because you're all kind of working together. Lucretia has rolled a 15. Does not have those bonuses that you have, but also has enough Arcana to take that to a 25. Morgan, what do you got?
I'd like to be a little strategic and position myself, at least on a fucking balcony, where damage to the main part of the library would not be as significant in case I need to.
Well, remember, you get to choose.
I don't have
You get to choose.
Yeah, but it's still, the choices could be boils or fire erupts everywhere, and let's be honest.
So, you take it you're going for a wild magic?
No, not yet. But I just want to say,
Maybe.
like, I'm going to be studying by a window, just in case. All right, new dice.
You just lean your head out the window and breathe fire if you need to.
Yeah, 16 plus 6.
16 plus 6. That's pretty solid.
Oh,
22.
what's the second roll? The second roll was lower, so 16 has remained.
Okay. All right. So with those 3 rolls, all being over 20, you start finding some relation between some of these stories. So first of all, you're researching the hologram.
Yeah.
Where am I here? I think I spelled that wrong. So in any case, the hologram refers to, in the easiest to find sources, a place up in the far north, a place of grinding ice, where all the land is gone, but the you can walk on the water as though you were on land, because the ice is so permanent that it piles up like a landmass. Um, but the landscape is totally shifting, and it is incredibly dangerous, and no one goes there. And these are all in tales of uh, the peoples of the far north. Where am I here?
Yeah,
Or
there's
derive.
I went a little
It's
bit
way too
close to there
disorganized.
one summer, just like road tripping with my friends. There's like there's a tavern where you can take a drink from this special ale bottle that has like a goblin toe in it, and apparently like goblins just donate their toes for this
Did I,
drink.
did I hear that?
I
Did I
am
hear that someone ate the original toe? Is that true? And there's only one toe left, and you have to put down a 200 gold deposit to kiss the toe.
Yeah, yeah, just so
I'm
you
like
don't.
taking notes
Yeah,
because I want to go try this toe licker.
yeah,
Is that a
yeah.
is
Emphasis
that a
on the liquor.
fetish thing? Because I can
Yep.
never tell.
No, well, not. I think it's not generally. There probably are people
Depends
out
who's
there.
asking, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, yeah, real thing. I went
Hmm.
there. I did not lick. I did not kiss the toe. Um,
That's a
I
lot of
thought
gold
about
for
it.
a toe.
Didn't want to do it.
I mean, I probably
Yeah.
know a guy who'd let you kiss
No,
his
no,
feet for
no.
free, but he's kind of
It,
weird.
it's just no. It's the toe is like in a drink. It's like dismembered, and
Oh, gross.
then the it's just a deposit so that if you it's to dissuade people from eating the toe, which has happened multiple times, unfortunately.
So this might have been something that happened to you in a village of the Hermodrim, um, somewhere up near Land's End and the city of Northold. But the Helligrim is a legend that you certainly have never been to, because when you eventually the icy wastes give way to the ocean, and you haven't walked across the ocean, because you have to go far across the ocean in the north by ship before you ever reach this mythical land of grinding ice. Some say that Frostholm, the island of the frost giants, has roads of ice that lead to the Helligrim in the far north. But the Hermodrim, which is the term that the north of Northfolk use for themselves, people who used to live in all of the sort of towns and cities along the ocean of the north. So you can actually see the town of Wintermoor on the right side of that map in the Great Northern Ocean, and you can see the city of Northold. You can see the Spit and the Tower of Land's End, and you can see the city of Ervik, which is the Ravenfolk home in the islands. But the humans who sail their ships up there, their long ships, uh, and there used to be more cities along that coast until the armies of the Shagha Khan destroyed most of them. And Wintermoor is the only one left in the east. There used to be a lot more along that ragged coast. Um, but the peoples of that place, the Hermodrim, these Viking types that live in the north, their tales talk of this place, the Helligrim, the grinding ice way out to sea. That said, while Morgan is finding these stories, which of course second nature to Morgan, because her people, trade with the Hermodrim. They're the people with the ships
And I
out there off
love
the icing
gossip.
words.
I love gossip. That's actually one of the main reasons that I travel. It's I am part bard, but like I can't really sing. I can just shake ass.
That's that'll inspire the right folks.
It'll get you a fair while. Yeah,
Yeah.
it still gets you an inspiration. But uh, Copernicus, as you're delving through your books of demons and you're looking into Nihil, um, Nihil is a god of nihilism, of destruction, of entropy. He's not one of the old gods, the gods of the void, but people associate Nihil with the void and the idea of the old gods. More in the sense of like a returning to, like worshippers of Nihil would love to see a return to the state of the universe of the old gods, right? And I mean, nobody even knows what that looks like. Most worshippers of Nihil are just anarchists, basically. Just like, yeah, burn it all down. And certainly that's the stripe of those ice barbarians, you would imagine. Just destroy, destroy, destroy. But you find some references to the Helligrim. This idea that the god Nihil is in some way connected to the Helligrim. But the passages you find in this, and this is only in some really old texts, and so some old texts on mythology, which we already established your library isn't super heavy on. These texts, it almost seems like Helligrim is being referred to as a person rather than a place, in reference to Nihil.
I have in my own ancient Trash Heroes time, I have some old note about Helligrim, I think from a year and a half ago, that it could refer to a creature trapped in the ice at the pole.
Yep. Yep. And that's where I'm going with this.
Okay.
So that's where the connection between, like, okay, so if there is a thing, a creature that Nihil is beholden to as a god, then it's going to be something on the scale of a god itself. And if the tales of the Hermodrim refer to this place, the grinding ice in the far north, as a place, then that could very well be the place where the thing might be trapped in the ice. And there's a lot of this is in mythology that seems like that's connected to old times, connected to like old creation mythology. And you're once again really thinking, if you could dig into some of this, like these ancient texts that you could find at the Temple of Throm or in Eldamar, the Elven home, you might be able to get a more detailed source to learn more about this. But yeah, you figure from your readings that the barbarian followers of Nihil, very different than the Raven cult. Like the Raven cult that worships the Raven Queen, you know, that there's nothing nihilistic in that. And you do know that the Raven cult has somewhat been fragmented, that like the current rise of the Raven cult is sort of a sect under Eliphas Darkmoor. And you wonder if maybe Eliphas Darkmoor, who you know to be a warlock, is a warlock of the Raven Queen or something else. And certainly he's got this connection to these barbarians that worship a god of entropy and want to destroy everything. And then just going back to your list. Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to give you for now, because this is like within a day.
Yeah.
But you're seeing like a bunch of your questions are connected here. So like the attacks and the armies of the Chaga Khan, well, they did in fact wipe out a bunch of the Hermodrim in the north on their trek westward. And the Hermodrim have tales of the far north and the ice, the grinding ice, and it's something that's trapped there. And the Helligrim seems to be both referring possibly to that place, but also to some sort of demon or other creature. And that seems to be related to this god god Nihil, that is some kind of god of nihilistic entropy. But like again, I don't want to oversell. Like Nihil isn't like a primal force of the universe. He's a new god.
Some guy.
He's a god of entropy in the same way that like, you know, Loki is a god of tricks. It's not like, tricks didn't exist until Loki came into the world. It's, yeah.
Interesting. The last thing that I'm curious about, I'm just thinking about an entity of incredible power trapped in the ice at the poles, and then these visions we keep having about the horizon on fire, and that might say like
Yeah, that
melt
seems to be
away.
the
I think
opposite. It seems the other end of of the world.
yeah, I'm just
Might be
wondering if
worth
like
researching
yeah,
whatever's going on there.
yeah. I'm curious to know if there's any like if there are any prophecies that like suggest about the ice melting or the ice being broken or anything like that.
That might be something to look into if you get access to the Library of Throm or the elves.
All right.
I will say though that the last thing on your list, just to tie up a nice little bow, the Maladvar. You don't have a lot of time to do a lot of research on it, but in this last sort of thrust of poking around, you find it's again a High Elvish name that has something to do with both bad and fire. And the couple of sources you find where anything similar crops up are sources from the Southlands.
Seems like a matching pair of bad things.
Yeah.
And I'll leave that there because you don't have time to do more research on the Maladvar, but something you might want to follow up. But then we move to the night before the gathering. Now that you've done all the research that you can get done, you all go, let's get a long rest in. Because in the morning, there's going to be this war council. And in the night, a few things will happen. Morgan.
Oh no.
You're going to have a a little disturbance in your sleep.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
You awaken like dead out of a deep sleep, and you sit up like something made a noise or something disturbed you, and you look around and you see immediately things moving in the various reflections in this room. So you've got you're in the that one guest room, and there's a big mirror along the one wall. It's all covered in like dust and cobwebs, but in the mirror you see yourself sitting upright in bed, but the you that is sitting upright in bed is going like and there are several other like fairy creatures popping into frame like from behind the bed and other places in the reflection. You don't see them here
When your
that are like
reflection tells you to flee,
dancing
that's
nervously and
bad.
freaking out.
It's at this point that I would like to clarify our sleeping arrangements because we haven't actually gone over it and things have been a little testy.
Uh-huh.
Morgan would
So
still want to bunk with people.
You have not
But
been
I-
bunking with people
I
because
suspect
there are
Oogna has
multiple
been
bedrooms.
disinvited.
You had a room that was to
the
yourself.
first night
Fetid slept in that room the first night. You and Fetid shared a room the first night. Fetid, however, is not here. Is in Ravenfall right now. So you're on your own in your bedroom. Right next door, however, is the larger, sort of quote unquote master bedroom that Tromlin and Oogna are sharing. Copernicus, we never established if he even laid claim to a room because he was kind of sitting up doing things the last couple of nights. And in fact, he's probably still in the library at this point.
The research party just continues.
Okay.
Yeah. And then upstairs in the tower is Lucretia's room, where she went with the Baron the other night. The Baron didn't come back to the house today. He went out into the city to oversee repairs and dealing with the aftermath of the Kraken attack. But Lucretia went up to her room alone. And then downstairs from where you are. Like just outside your room is a big landing that stretches the length of this part of the house that looks down over the grand stairwell. And at the bottom of the grand stairwell, there are two sides. One is the Great Hall, the big open space at the front of the building, and the other is the dining hall. And the dining hall is where Sextus, the Lich mummy thing, mummy lord, that's the word I was looking for, has been just sitting all night awake. So you know there are people around, they're just not in this room with you.
So Misty Step is a place I can see. Would I be able to get a peep out of my window and into the one next door,
Yeah.
or just crawl
You
over?
you can jump and look to the window.
Yeah.
At which point I'd like an initiative roll from you.
All right. That's a 14 plus.
What's your initiative bonus? Should be near the top of your sheet.
Yeah. Plus 4. 20. Dirty 20.
Okay, dirty 20. And then I'd also like a perception roll from you.
Yeah. Ooh, that is a nat 20.
Ooh.
Nice.
Well, then you, lucky you, get get some warning before things happen.
Cool.
Okay,
Maybe there'll be good things.
so you jump to your feet and start to rush to the window, so you can look out and potentially see the next room. But as you do so, you notice, fairly difficult to notice, shadows moving as shadows are not meant to move, creeping around the window. And the shadow creeps up to the window and through the window, like it's a silhouette on the wall of a clawed hand, like gripping the windowsill. And the shadow that's on the wall starts to push the sash, the windowsill, up.
Nope.
You get to act before they do. So what would you like to do about this thing you have noticed?
I'm assuming
you stop running towards the window.
I'm going to into my window or their window.
So you're in a room.
Yeah.
It has a window.
I went
You've
to my
run
window.
towards that window. You haven't like stuck your head out the window, because as you ran towards the window, you noticed the shadows coming in. If you stick your head out the window, you'll be in them.
Yeah.
So I assume you don't want to keep going in that direction.
I'm just going to dimension door silent spell into the next room.
Yeah. Okay. So that is that's a 4th level slot, right?
Yeah. I'm not fucking around.
Because you
yeah.
nope out of there completely.
Well, I was initially thinking of thunderstepping, but they could be doing a coordinated attack. So I don't want to...
You're just let's get the party together.
Yeah, party together before making a ruckus.
Okay. You know the layout here. You've been in the various rooms around here, so I'm not going to make you roll anything. Like you easily land, like put yourself in the middle of the room.
Would I have time to grab my shit? Like
it's instantaneous, so you could move to to where some of your stuff is.
Yeah.
And grab it. You probably don't have time to grab everything. Like you probably have like a pack with like most of your important gear, like your magic items.
Yeah, Morgan from the start has been war ready. Like she arrived, they said something was going on. She put on her boots from the bathtub. So she has had her bag ready this whole time.
Yeah, so I would say that you're not going to necessarily going to be able to grab like if you had armor that you had taken off, you wouldn't be able to like get the armor and your backpack. And so not that you do, because you don't wear armor, right? Your armor is
a robe.
A robe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your cloak of eldritch armor. So I'm going to say that you can grab your bag, like your explorer pack, which would have your bag of holding tied to it. And you probably have your ring on, but your vial and your cloak would be with that. However, your clothing that you wore the night before that you took off would be like laid out, and you would not grab that. So you're going to be wearing whatever you sleep in. I don't know if that's complete nudity. I don't know if that's like a night shift of some sort. You'll
It
have
is
that.
a
Single fig leaf.
no. It's way better than that. It is the sheer gigantic robe
Ooh.
that has like the
With the fluffies?
on
Yeah.
it. But it is like more like kimono style short with
Yep.
the like flowy
I
sleeves.
remember what movie I'm picturing where there's
Yeah.
like a full-on bright pink one of these.
Oh yeah.
Like gauzy see-through with
Like
all
feather
of the
boa
fluffy
kinda.
linings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, ass peeking short, but like
Mm-hmm.
yep.
With your little tail
Um,
sticking through like a hole.
Yeah, exactly. The tail just kind of lifts up the ham at the back,
Ooh.
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
grab your backpack with your cloak that's laid across it, and so you move, you object interact, grab it, you use your action to cast the spell, and you
Silent
said you wanted to
spell.
do a silence spell,
Yeah.
so you're spending the extra sorcerer, the one sorcery point, because you don't have to cast. You've got your full slots. Okay, and you teleport directly into the next room. So you soundlessly appear in the middle of the room where Oogna is sleeping. There is no sign of Tromlin.
Yeah. I'm guessing that Perny is awake.
Ernie is still in the
Yes.
library,
Oh, Perny's in the
so
library.
he's in the basement.
Yeah.
No, Tromlin isn't here. Tromlin was normally sleeping
Yeah.
in here with Oogna, but right now Tromlin is not present.
Morgan is sending
just
alarm
Oogna.
bells, red alert alarm bells to Perny.
Through Perninet.
And is just going to appear on top of Oogna with her hands over Oogna's mouth.
Great.
And just
I will
trying
point
to
out
like wake her.
at this point that Oogna is sleeping on her back. It looks like she had the blankets on at one point, but has thrown them all off. And she is sleeping in like a little pair of booty shorts and a Oogna versus Basilisk fight shirt.
Promotional T-shirt.
Promotional T-shirt.
Excellent.
With the one
Promo
with
shirt.
Basilisk's face like quite large on it. Just to
Living in
really
the merch.
just
My
rub that in
God.
there. Yeah. And she's just like fully
Beautiful.
on her back, snoring, drool, everything.
And presumably not covered in birds.
Not covered in,
Yeah.
not with birds hanging off of her face.
It's just a real world thing.
Does she keep shit together? She does not keep her shit together. When something lands on her in the middle of the night,
No.
Does she punch you or does she just fling you across the room? I think I fling you across. No, I grapple you. I will auto grapple like I'm in the ring.
No, being grappled by Oogna in a non-destructive fashion.
Yeah.
The worst. Who wants to be pinned and grappled by Oogna in bed? That's crazy.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like she's not even fully awake, and she just does something with her arms, and you're in a headlock.
All right. Because obviously you leave the vocal cords open for the
Oh yeah.
the scripted yelling. She'll be tapping out, obviously. She's not she can't try and wriggle out of that. And she'll be like, "Red alert, we're under attack, quiet."
So pause.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump to Perny because you instantly came into the room. As you were falling on Oogna, you were frantically, you'd pulled out your sending stone. And so kind of simultaneously, you started sending a message to Copernicus, and Oogna grapples you. So Copernicus, you're in the library, still reading books about gods of annihilation and trying to find references to the Valdemar, which seems to be an object. Sorry, I'm mixing it up with the other thing. No, the Valdemar. There's a reference to the Valdemar that almost makes it sound like they're people.
So Maladvar is a word I know.
Sorry,
I don't.
Maladvar.
Maladvar.
I, not even with the word in
Valdemar
front
is
of me. I
a series of
dyslexic
novels.
it backwards. Yeah,
Okay.
Maladvar, not Valadmar. Yeah, there's a reference at the Maladvar that makes the Maladmar seem like they're a people or a group, like not necessarily like a race, but like a group of individuals. Whether that be some sort of like army or cult or club or race of beings or type of monster, you're not sure. And you've only seen that in one reference so far. You've just barely scratched the surface about Maladvar. When you get Morgan's voice in your head over the Perninet, just saying, it gets as far as help, attack, and then it cuts off. Doesn't even finish the word attack. Or you're not sure, it might just be a shortening thing that the kids do.
I imagine that because it's adapted from text, it's like the TikTok voiceover voice.
Help,
Like,
attack.
yeah,
It's
Yeah.
That's perfect.
It's
Wow,
Yes.
the raccoon one.
uncanny. Yeah, and like
We're totally getting attacked right now. I think that's
we are
probably exactly what it
getting
is.
attacked right now.
Yeah.
We're totally getting attacked right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Perny broadcasts that to the net and says, all hands on deck. We're under attack. Is there anyone else up in the library with me? Is anyone else of like the
No.
household?
Well, I mean, the various ghosts are out there still sort of like ghosting around. You think you saw Cuddle Spoon at one point snuffling about, but yeah, none of the party.
Yeah. I think Perny is going to just tell the group, I'm going to check on Lucretia first, and then we'll muster wherever we need to muster. But I think his first priority is just figuring out that she's okay, because she is probably one of the bigger targets here, with her like being at the center of a local conflict where there's already kind of enemy forces nearby.
And so now that, as you say that, everyone will. So now the Perninet is open to everyone except Morgan, because Morgan has to type.
No.
So-
I signed in.
Oh yeah, you did,
Yeah, you
didn't
fully
So
signed
yeah,
in.
you were
I signed
typing
up,
up your
we had a
settings to
whole-
but now you're fully in. So yeah, so people can now think back at you in direct conversation because you've opened that situation. But also, as you're frantically scribbling in your book with your finger to do the broadcast, you make a perception check for me.
Oh, good. Something I'm great at.
And Fetid, you are curled up in the sewers underneath this warehouse where you're preparing to sneak everybody in when you get this message.
Oh my god, he must
the
be
group
so
is under attack or
pleased.
something.
How far away am I?
Well, you're in Ravenfall,
Okay, yeah.
and they're
so
in
pretty far.
Morwindle, so very far,
Okay.
extremely far away. But because you're on the same plane of existence, you also get the
Mhm.
sending.
That's an 11 over here for perception.
Yeah, you won't notice initially. So you're sending out the
Okay,
message.
initially.
I'm going to Lucretia first, and then what are you doing from there? Which way are you
Then
going?
I'm gonna start flying up to Lucretia. I'll probably
Okay.
go by the up from the balcony route just because it feels like it'll be faster
Yeah.
than trying to run.
So you're leaving the library through the big heading towards the big hall where the landing. You can go straight up.
Yeah, I
Up
mean,
the central part of the house.
that or I might just like go out the window and then up to her tower balcony.
I think we said that the library was in the basement, so I think you gotta
Okay.
at least go up to the main floor, and then you can go out a window.
Okay.
So as you're doing so, the shadows surround you, and I'd like an initiative roll. I think from everybody else now. I've got Morgan's. Let's just get everybody in the initiative tree.
Oof.
Morgan's got a dirty 20.
I have a 10.
Dirty 20 and an at 20.
Who has a nat 20?
Sorry, I was just bragging about my past perception.
Yeah. What did you get there, Oogna?
10.
10 total?
Fully half of that.
Yep.
15 here, so splitting the difference.
Nice.
Okay.
Good.
And then can somebody roll for Lucretia for me?
I can roll for Lucretia. 12 on the die.
Cool. She's going to go at the same time as you. That's nice and convenient. And then I'll get a roll for Sextus from you.
11 on the die.
Okay. Mummy Lord gets a bonus of... Where's initiative? Oh, nothing. 0. So what did you roll on the die?
Okay.
11 on the die.
11 on the die. So still ahead of Oogna.
Cool. I just woke up. I'm not at my best.
Yep. And then I'm gonna get one more roll from Peter for like others in the household, just one roll, and I'll get a roll from Fetid, just so I don't know what all he can accomplish out there if he wants to try and poke his companions and try and prematurely trigger the
Right.
the Exodus. We roll
That's
a
a
1. Yeah.
big one.
So
Let's see. I think I have a 17. Yeah, 16.
okay. All right. So. So Morgan, back to you. So you found yourself in a headlock, and you started to say something to Oogna. So
I
I'll
tapped
let you
out.
continue that. You're tapping out. What else
Yeah.
are you doing?
Like whispering through, like, we're under attack.
We're under attack.
I know it's not my turn
Grab
yet,
your shit.
but I feel like the second you tap out, Ugna's grip just completely loosens. It's trained.
Morgan's still holding onto your arm.
Yeah. But she's still
you release, but then she's just there, like
Yeah.
hanging.
And
I'm you start here, and then you're just like, no, I'm
still
over.
blinking blearily because it's not my initiative yet. Like, what?
Yeah. Is it?
Do you want to do anything
my
else
turn?
other than? Yeah, it's your turn. Do you
Okay.
want to do anything other than?
Other than flirt with Oogna in this dire time of us being under attack, I don't know.
When is there a
That
better
seems
time
like
to
a silly
flirt?
question.
Come on.
I feel like this is
You
definitely
are
the time
literally straddling me
to
on a
like
bed.
work through.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like
You're
this is
like-
a really good time to
you
work through things.
Artfully, accidentally let
I've
a boob fall out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Morgan will.
You slip and fall forward onto Oogna's face. Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Actually, that sounds perfect. She will help Oogna grab her stuff because she has actual armor. So is going to like slam one of her boobs in her face as she's like grabbing
You lean
the
across
stuff
me
from the side of the bed and
just
helping
roll
her
you.
put it on over the sweater.
Yeah.
And then like jump over and bend over to pick things up off the floor and
Perfect.
Yeah. And then is otherwise grabbing our party's other shit and just stuffing it into the go bag, aka bag of holding.
The go bag of holding.
Okay.
Good.
Next up, now back to Copernicus. You are surrounded.
Oh, sorry. One
by
of those
attacking
actions
shadows.
is actually putting her own.
Cloak
I guess
on?
it's just a skirt and a bralette. That's what her armor is. So she'll be.
I mean, you
putting
don't
that
have
on.
armor. You literally just have a cloak that gives you armor. So you just throw the cloak on over your nightie, and you're as armored as you ever are.
Yeah.
Okay. So back to Copernicus. Since you weren't noticing what was going on around you, as you come flying up the stairs or leaving the library and flying up the stairs, you find yourself coming into the great hall, and a group of shadows that are making their way into. Where are we here? There we are. Making their way into through the to the building through the door. Um, is this shadowy thing that is going to attack you?
Love that for me.
Yep.
Yeah, let's put our
Opposed,
our
just so
squishy
you
old
know.
man
Yeah.
off on his own. That's good.
Perfect.
Yeah, so this is going to be a paralyzing touch attack.
Well, that's not good.
So two of them are going to. So one of them turns its lack of a face towards you,
Ew.
and you need to make me a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, is that a good one for me? Hey, it's not a bad one for me. We'll give that a try. I've been rolling very poorly. Nope.
Fail.
Fail.
Okay, so you're going to take 2d10. Just gonna find those and roll them. You're going to take 9 psychic damage. And you are afraid of this thing as you are overwhelmed with terror. And the other one, the clutching shadow hands are grasping for you.
That's bad.
And I have a successful attack. I'm pretty sure your armor class is less than 24.
That is correct.
And you are going to take 3d6. 16 cold damage. And I need a DC 15 Constitution save.
DC 16 Constitution.
15. DC 15
15.
Constitution save.
Come
All the DCs
on.
here are 15.
Nope.
Then you are paralyzed.
Oh no.
You are unable to move. This lasts for a minute, but you can renew your saving throw every turn until you make it.
At first I was afraid. I was paralyzed.
Yep. You were afraid and you were paralyzed by
My
this pair of shadows. Yep. Okay. Next up is... Who the hell is N?
Oh, did I actually get a turn?
You do on 15, but they went on... Oh, sorry, that's the bad guys. They already went.
Okay.
Sorry. They got a 19. You
Right.
have a 15, so they went first. And you rolled an 11 to see if you might have done something before they
Right.
spotted them. But
Yeah.
you did not spot you didn't spot the shadow things in the shadows until they acted.
Cool.
Okay, so next up is Fetid. So Fetid, you just heard this like, okay, we're under attack. I'm going to go help Lucretia over the mind thing that Copernicus does. You wake up and you're in the tunnels underneath the place that you're supposed to be sneaking everybody into later today. The 3 Chillwinds barbarians are nearby in this little cave space. With their animal skins that they're sleeping on. There's no sign yet of the thieves because they were going to meet you here, and the buildings above you where the teleportation circle is.
Let's see. So if I said we should pull the trigger and go now,
It'd
Yes.
still probably take a few rounds, but it would be the main danger is whether there would be any thieves still in the warehouse.
well, I think that is a lesser problem than everybody being under attack. So yeah, I think I will say I'll wake up my barbarian buddies and be like, change of plans. My colleagues are under attack. We need to go now.
Okay. So that'll be your action for this round is like waking everybody up and going, we gotta go. and gathering stuff together. Okay. Next is Copernicus and Lucretia. Copernicus, all you can do is attempt to break out of the paralysis. I believe, let me just double check when you make the roll, but I'm pretty sure it's on your turn. At the end of your turn. So you basically can do nothing other than attempt to.
Look on in horror.
Yep. So you look
All
on in
right.
horror, you're afraid. So you very much look on in horror.
And are petrified.
Okay, let's roll for fear first. Wisdom, 15. Nope.
Cool.
All right, paralysis.
Okay. So the frightened isn't going to affect anything because you can't.
Oh, wait,
run
wait, wait,
away
wait.
and you're not...
Wait, hold on. 15?
Yep, DC 15.
I made exactly 15.
Okay, well then you are no longer afraid, so you don't have to. If you do break free of this, you don't have to just run away. You can do other things, but and you won't have penalties to do so. But incapacitate, you cannot move or speak.
Yeah, there's truly nothing I can do while I'm paralyzed. So here we go. It's a really worn out number. It's 2 digits. 16 on the die, 18 total. We're back, baby.
So that's the end of your turn. You cease to be paralyzed.
Cool.
Okay. You can't tell what's happening with Lucretia, so I'll just go by that.
I assume that I can't initiative hack and like ready in action, which doesn't require moving or speaking. Okay.
No.
Had to ask.
And then Sextus is next. However, nothing with any kind of noise has occurred yet, so he can't. He is not aware of what's happening.
Free action. Can I yell intruders at the top of my lungs now that I'm unparalyzed?
No, because you did not get to make that roll till the end of your turn, so free actions have already passed. If you were paralyzed in a way that didn't say you couldn't speak,
yeah,
but it specifically says you can't speak, so not yet. But also, Morgan and Oogna are upstairs making a little bit of noise, but probably not like to the level of raising the house at this point. So I will jump over Sextus and move on to Oogna.
All right. So several things have happened all at once. I woke up, I got Morgan's tit in my face, and I've been told that we're under attack. So I'm going to take half a second to just process all of this information.
Yep, Morgan is now very sexily helping you get ready.
And there's a moment where Oogna just like stares, because that's a lot of Morgan, really close in the middle of the night. But like something in the back of her mind kind of clicks in, is like attack, we gotta fighting. And she'll grab beside the bed for her hammer.
Yeah, while Morgan's putting on one of your boots.
Yeah.
You're really good at lacing.
Are you just shoving them on Oogna's feet as they like hang over the edge of the bed?
Yeah.
Perfect. In that case, I will, as soon as the boots are on, like kip up into them and just stand there with the hammer in my pajamas, basically. And it'll be what? Oh, what are we fighting? Who's fighting?
You see no immediate targets.
Yeah.
But there can be some conversation here with Morgan.
Shadow thing outside my window. I barely
look
got
for
out
a
fast
window.
enough.
That's the next room.
Yeah.
Like that's the room right next door, which you are aware of.
I will wheel towards the window, but there's nothing out there, I'm guessing? There's no creepy shadow hand reaching in my window?
Your own window, so you're in the master bedroom, which is in a corner.
Yeah.
So the window that Morgan would be referring to is on one side of the building. Your window is on a different side of the building.
Yeah, right.
But there is no sign around that window of any kind of shadow thing. But also, Morgan said my window, which you would know is in the next room.
And I'll go, have you seen Tromlin?
No, I just came to you.
Where are the others?
Perny, she's like sending out her thought shit. As she does, sending out her thought shit. She's just grabbing. Like, I don't know who else is getting attacked. We have to go.
All right. Can I use my action to slip on my breastplate?
Yes.
Cool.
You can't. I was going to say you can't like get into your armor and do other things here, but if all
No.
you're doing with your action is grabbing your stuff,
Yeah.
I'd say just grabbing the hammer is like an object interaction. We're all getting attacked by a bird. No. Is he just licking the
Yeah,
camera?
he sure is.
It's a little
Okay.
streaky now. I can see.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yep.
gotta get a
What
claw.
is this? Is this food?
There's people in there. I want to bite them. But yeah,
Uh,
I'm like literally just putting it over my shoulders. I probably won't get
yeah,
the
you're
full
just
AC
throwing it
for
on.
it,
You're
but
not going to get
it's
the full
magic.
bonus of it, but you can
Yeah.
kind of throw it on so that it's held there.
Yeah. I'm literally I'm in booty shorts, a tank top, and a breastplate.
Yep. And boots.
And boots. Perfect.
Yep.
That's my turn.
I think
Getting in and out of armor. Donning armor. Yeah, fully putting on breastplate, which is considered medium armor, I think is like
Yeah.
5 minutes
Jesus.
to like properly put it on, and you don't
Morgan's
have time.
just going to like lightly like out of battle reflex, go to like launch up onto your shoulder, and then we'll like stop herself.
Aw. Oogna doesn't even notice. She's too focused.
So where are you going? Did you say you're like charging out of the room?
Nope.
Just
I'm just shrugging
play
onto
on?
the
Okay,
shrugging
you're
into
just
the
waiting.
armor. I turned towards the window, but I didn't see anything there, so I'm just
Yep.
not holding
Okay,
action because I used to getting on my armor, but I'm just in my room.
Copernicus, at this point, we're moving into a new round. If you want to do a free action to just say something, I'm happy to have that out of initiative order. I usually let people respond.
Yes.
So you
Pretty
hear Copernicus's shout of intruders from outside the room in the building, out in the Great Hall. And
think-
that brings us to the top of initiative order, and it's Morgan.
Morgan's just gonna grab Oogna and try and get towards the library where she would assume that Perny is.
Cool.
Trom's
that horror
probably in
movie
the
thing?
kitchen.
Where we like grab hands and we're running full tilt.
When you say
Yeah.
are you doing a teleportation of some sort, or are you just like you're just going, you're just running?
I think we should just run. And Morgan will again like just so awkwardly be like, could I just ride you for this battle? It'd be faster for us to and safer for us to get around that way like we used to.
Yeah, okay. Gears
She'll
are
hop
visibly
on.
grinding in
You
Oogna's
hop-
head, and she's like,
On
ugh.
Ugna's back.
Yep.
Okay, so you're just start. So we'll save till Ugna's turn, where you actually get to. Next up are various shadows. So, Copernicus,
That's me.
that is indeed you.
Just so you know, I'm saving my dimension door for all of us because I don't
Yep.
have all the spell slots, right?
Yep. So the one that is, I think they're just going to keep it going. The one that was grappling with you. Sorry, I'm a little confused as to whether they do both of these things or not. I think it's one or the other. It's not well written.
Sometimes less is more, especially when less is damage to me. And more is chances I have to survive.
I like this. I like this.
Okay, so additional paralyzing touch. 16 plus 7, or, sorry, 18 plus 7, 25 is definitely going to beat your armor class. I need another DC 15 Constitution save.
You're killing me. Literally.
Please,
Yep.
please don't.
That's a fail. I'm just trying to decide if I want to spend an inspiration.
Okay, well, it's another 12 cold damage either way, and then you can decide whether or not you are paralyzed.
I have one inspiration left. I feel like I might need it for. I mean, I lose my whole turn if I fail to save, but I feel like that's probably better. You said 10 damage?
What did I say? 9, 10, 12. 12 damage.
My friends are coming. I will. Did I make it to the main hall, or am I stuck in the library still?
No, this happened like on the stairs, like as you went up the stairs to the main hall. They were coming in through the front great doors, like around it. Really, the shadows were oozing around the door, and you basically ran right into them. So you're basically like at the stairwell to the basement, like you're at the edge of the great hall.
Okay. Perny is going to. Yeah, I'm going to fail the save. I'm not going to take the inspiration. But can I yell out as I feel, like as I see that I'm about to get paralyzed again or they're closing in? Can I yell out like "Get to Lucretia," whether in the head connection or out loud?
Yep. You can do it with the head connection if you don't want them to know.
Yeah.
Get to Lucretia. Save Lucretia. Okay. There is another paralyzing attack on you, although you can't become more paralyzed, so there's no saving throw for you. But you will take another 17 cold damage.
Ooh, okay, hold on. Let's do a quick bit of math here, because this added up quickly.
Man.
Okay, we're up at 3 HP here.
And then there is the other one does a howl. It uses its legendary action to unleash an unearthly, echoing, painful howl. All creatures that can hear the faceless within 90 feet, which is going to include possibly not Lucretia, but everybody else. Make a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw.
And it's saved for no damage at all, right?
Maybe.
Great.
Oh no.
It's gonna suck to lose Lucretia because
Oh no.
we are getting Perny.
I rolled a 14 and I have a bonus of 0. So nope.
That's a fail.
Right there.
Copernicus? 21 is a success.
Yeah.
For no damage, right?
Morgan?
What save is this?
Wisdom.
That is 13.
Total 13?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I take 0 damage.
That's a fail.
I take 0 damage halved, and then they take full 0 damage, which I think is 0. So I think we're all up.
Okay. Is this something I can silvery barbs? I just want to make sure. All right.
You cannot silvery barbs your own failed saving throws.
You could silvery barb
the attack.
You can silvery barbs Oogna's successful saving throw. Oogna failed too.
Yeah.
No.
My successful one.
No, I just meant the attack, but I don't think I can.
No, you cannot. There's actually no roll of any kind here. So, for the attack. Okay, and
I'm gonna see how many points I have. I'm going to Wild Magic Surge.
Sorry, you're doing a Wild Magic Surge for a reroll?
Yes, please.
Hang on a second. Let me see if that's the only option you have.
I have luck as well.
That's for skill reroll. And luck. So luck works the same way as your Tides of Chaos. It's negotiated with a wild magic. So you might as well just do the Tides of Chaos reroll. Okay, so go ahead and reroll and tell me what you got for your saving throw.
17.
That will succeed. So Oogna, that howl of horrendous otherworldly anguish terrifies you, and you are frightened for 1 minute.
Cool, love that.
You can roll to renew or to try and break out of that, but in the meantime, you're going to turn and bolt the other way.
Yep, and you're riding me now, Morgan. So we're both going away.
You're also going the other way.
Cool.
And yes, and I've already rolled for the various members of your household and how they react to this. Yes, there is no damage on a successful saving throw. You don't have to worry about anything. Nothing happens.
We're up. We're still up.
Yeah.
We're paralyzed, but we're up. Oh wait, don't I auto-fail? No, I auto-fail dexterity and strength saves, but not wisdom. Okay.
Yeah, while you're paralyzed, yes.
I just got on your Christmas card list.
Oogna, you turn and flee directly into the arms of the shadows coming out of Morgan's room.
Oh, that's cool.
Um,
Good. Yeah.
So there is a pair of shadows here also, and they are going to attempt to grab you in order to do paralyzing attacks on you.
Nice, nice,
That is a
nice,
nat
nice, nice,
one,
nice. Oh,
so that just
hey.
flat out misses.
Yep.
Even though you don't have a great armor class right now, the other one's going to hit because that's a total 17, which is
Yep.
definitely better than
Better
your
than my.
than your
I normally
your
have an 18, but
reduced
I'm
armor
down
class.
probably a couple.
You know, you have no armor at the moment, so
Yeah.
your armor class is like just your dex bonus.
I've got whatever
Right.
the breastplate being slung over my shoulders gives me. Yeah.
Nothing because
Yeah.
you haven't had time to actually don it.
So it's just a plus
So
3
your
of
armor class is like 12 right now.
Yeah. Plus 2 of my dex.
But 17 will hit. So I need a saving throw against the paralysis. Constitution save
Constitution?
15, which
Gotcha.
you're quite good at.
I'm very good at, and I rolled a 10, so that is 16.
Okay. And then the other one has also hit you with an attack, so I need another saving throw for that one.
Same DC.
And this hit is a nat 20, but that doesn't affect the paralysis. Or paralysis works the same way.
I rolled a 13, and I got a plus 6, so.
Yeah, so both attacks claw at you, and you take this terrible cold damage. But you are not paralyzed with the cold.
Cool.
You are terrified.
How much damage do I take?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 for the first one.
Cool.
And then the second one's going to be doubles.
Nice.
14 doubled is 28 for the second
28.
one.
Owie.
Because of the nat 20.
Owie.
And that is all of them. Fetid.
Yes.
You have roused your companions and are saying, we gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
So you can start moving. There's just a question of urgency. Are you going to try and be sneaky and get these guys upstairs with like a pass without trace?
Yes, I think that is worth doing.
In which case, I need a stealth roll, and you spend your action casting the spell, but then you can move.
Wow, another 18 on the die. Rolling really high tonight.
Very, very stealthful. They will take their cue from you and also roll stealth. So the low roll here is 11 plus their stealth bonus and your plus 10. So
You also may want to let Perny know to open his book, because he's currently paralyzed, and I think out of paranoia, because he just gave out the coordinates to a lot of people, that the book's probably closed until closer to the actual meeting. So you may want to give him a heads up.
it was set up in the library because that's where you were researching. I'm just trying to decide because you were in the library still researching with it. Like it's not like you were asleep when this all started. You were like hanging out in the library, keeping
That's
reading
true.
books.
It was
I can't
monitored.
imagine. I think because you didn't say otherwise, I'm going to say it wasn't shut. You didn't fold it back up again. It's still there.
Out of paranoia, I was very much planning to, but in this case, it works better for us, so I may take it.
You
No,
like it was
fact that I
closed, but
wasn't
you hit it
told
as you
otherwise,
fell.
and it's kind of too late.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's still there. You wouldn't have left it unattended and unfolded like that, but you were warned of an attack occurring, and you fled to go deal with it, and ended up right in the clutches of these shadow things. So, Fetid stealthing up towards the warehouse. Copernicus, you are up next. You have a chance. Again, you can't do anything till the end of your turn. You can attempt to break out.
All right. This is not
Still
a
a
great
15.
save for me. We got it.
Sweet.
That's an 18.
So once again, you manage to shrug off this. So you're not affected by the fear. Remember, you already broke out of that, and you are have shrugged off this paralysis. So you'll be able to act.
May I, as a free action, crumple to the floor as if dead to try to get them to leave me alone?
You can begin to do that.
I'm a method actor, so what my secret is that I'm almost dead.
You begin to do this. You
Okay,
begin
great.
to do this thing. However,
It was too
since
funny.
you're moving
I'm dead.
again, Oh no, he can't do that. He already did. So never mind. I only have one. Um, yeah. I only have one legendary action left. I can't do the extra attack, so he's not gonna do that. What else can he do with his legendary action?
Suck it, DM. Oh wait.
Eh. The only thing he can do with one is kind of useless, so I'm not going to do it. Sextus has heard your shouts and rises from his stupor in the kitchens in the dining hall. So he moves out, and you see him like drifting in his like ancient robes into the big open archway between the dining hall and the great hall, and he is going to. What can he do as a ranged attack? The dreadful glare. I don't think he's going to bother trying a dreadful glare. These things are almost certainly immune to fear, and he would be pretty certain about that. Legendary actions. He's not going to do the blasphemous word because that will affect all of you. That's an escape thing. He's not going to do that. He's not going to turn into a whirlwind of sand because that doesn't help him. I mean, he could just like, hey, I'm getting out of here. Bye. Nope, he's not going to do that because it will harm you guys.
We've got a mummy lord on our side, and he cannot do anything without just
No,
messing
he's
us
got a
up.
couple special things he can do that like really fuck with everyone who can hear him. But he won't do those. And his fear attacks aren't very useful here. Well, I assume he can just do it. Trying to decide if he's going to do a turn undead, or if it's inappropriate, or just cast a spell.
I was thinking about how I gave Morgan the skirt as her robes for her armor. And realized they're probably like a little pair of like, it's like a skirt where you like put it on kind of like shorts. And it has to be magical, so it probably has like gem clasps that like are part of like the function of it like magically adhering. Activated. Magical like bra clasp.
Nice. Okay, he's going to. It's the first thing that occurred to me. So he's going to do a sacred flame. So he points at the shadows that are attacking Copernicus. He points at one of them, and a glowing, radiant flame descends from nowhere onto the thing, and it has to make a dexterity saving throw, or it takes a bunch of damage. I have rolled a 13 plus 3 is 16. Is that enough? Spell save DC for the Mummy Lord is 17. I said 16, didn't I? Ha ha ha, that's a fail. Good, because if he made it, it would do absolutely nothing. Somebody want to roll the damage for me?
Ooh, what do we got? What do we got?
He is going to cast this up, I think. Oh, never mind. It's just a straight up. Somebody roll 2d8 for me. That's the damage it does. But it's radiant damage.
All right. I've rolled 2 1s.
That's not a lot of damage. He goes,
Man.
and there's some light and it annoys them slightly.
Ugh.
And he goes, I'm a mummy lord. I should be cooler than this.
They lined up perfectly as if they were placed there. That's really rude.
And yeah, and then next up is Oogna. You can attempt to break out of your fear situation.
Sure, that's another wisdom save.
Yeah.
Okay. Nope. 13. Still terrified.
Yep.
But
I got to keep track of your rolls because if you fail by 5 or more, you take a bunch of damage.
ooh, owie. All right. I'm terrified. I'm being grabbed by shadow things. Do I get an
And
attack?
you were trying to get away from them.
Yeah.
I think
I believe I'm at disadvantage, but I can still attack.
I'm double checking the frightened condition as to whether that is true. Frightened. Yes, you can attack with disadvantage.
I am doing so at whatever is in my way.
Yeah, which is with the things that you ran directly into.
Yeah.
The fear is coming from the other way, but
Yeah.
these things are all very frightening.
Do I need a what to hit them?
They have an armor class of 16.
Okay, because I rolled a 17 and a 10. 10's the low roll, but with my hammer, I have a plus 10 to hit.
You hit.
So that's a dirty 20.
Yep.
Woohoo!
And this is magical weapon, so it does
Yep.
do damage. Otherwise, they are immune.
Gotcha. Do I have my shit together enough to drop a combat maneuver on this?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. The only disadvantage is literally disadvantage.
All right, then I am dropping that. I'm gonna do probably a fainting attack so I get advantage next time, and I'll just be at an even roll, even if I'm still terrified. And I'm rolling damage. Whew, that's a good roll. 13 plus 8.
21 damage.
21.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Now, it is using its legendary actions on your turn, so that as you're striking it, it's clawing at you, and it's hitting you for another paralyzing attack.
Owie, owie.
That's 15 cold damage, but you also need to make a saving throw. Constitution save.
Constitution
So
save?
you're pretty damn good at it.
Well, I need a 5 or better. That's a 16 just on the roll, so I'm good.
Yep. You are very much not paralyzed
Yeah.
by this.
No.
Do you want to do anything else to it? Like, that's just one attack.
That's one attack. I've got more attacks.
Multiple attacks.
And this one I'm at an
Yeah.
even roll on. I'm not at disadvantage. With my fainting attack.
Oh, yeah.
17 will hit.
Yep.
Cool. I love that plus 10 because I only rolled a 7. Second verse, same as the first. Just gonna spend another superiority point. Less good on that roll. Only a 9 plus 8 would be 17.
17 more damage.
Yep.
21 plus 17. 38 damage. Are you done? You've got a free grapple if you want it, or you could do an offhand attack like a kick, since you're not carrying your shield at the moment.
I could also second wind this, or action surge it.
Yep.
Just
Several options.
murder the shit out of these things while I'm terrified.
So you can't do the extra kick because you did a feint, which takes your free
Takes my free action.
Your
A bonus.
whatever bonus action. Yeah. So you've used your bonus action, but you certainly can do a.
Yeah, you know what?
Second
I just
wind.
rolled a how scared is Oogna, and it's quite. So I'm going to action surge this.
Okay.
I'm just gonna attack the hell out
You've
of this
got
thing.
all your actions all over again.
Yep. Oh, that one does not hit. I rolled a 2,
Did not make
which plus
16?
10 is only a 12.
Okay.
But the second attack will hit. That is a 12 plus 10.
By the way, before I forget, Morgan, do you want to make your wild magic roll for that reroll you did?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Because it might be like something amazing that does damage to them, whatever.
I hope so.
So 2 percentile rolls, and then you get to choose.
I'm happy about my damage.
That is a 36
Okay.
and a 64.
Well, I
No,
guarantee
63, sorry.
I think you're going to want the 63. So either an entangle occurs centered on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There's an entangle spell around you that would affect Oogna, but would also
I'm
affect these
probably
things.
strong enough to get out.
Or your age changes again.
Again.
I'll take the entanglement.
Yeah. Otherwise, your age changes either up or down by a d10 years. So I think you're going to stick with that. All right. So an entanglement has like erupted from around you,
Yeah.
which is good to know.
And I do another 23 damage to that thing.
How much?
23.
23 more damage.
Yep.
It's 23.
Just
And
23.
have you used your bonus action this time?
I have
guessing
not
you've
yet.
not.
No.
So if you want to do the offhand attack, either with a fist or a kick,
Yeah, let's
I
do
know
that.
you're using your weapon you're using your weapon two-handed, but
I
like
am, so.
you can do a kick.
Yeah.
You have the two weapon. You have the bonus attack, second attack style.
I will try to knee it in the groin. It probably won't do any damage because my
It's
knee isn't magical.
Shadowy groin.
I hit it,
So
but
make
I
an-
don't think I do damage.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, this isn't magical.
Yeah.
So yeah, you hit it, but it doesn't seem to be effective.
I rolled a 10. I get what, plus. What's my melee? Plus 5? I don't even know if I hit it.
No, it's like +9.
Okay.
Like it's your professional bonus plus
Oh,
your
yeah.
strength, right?
Then
Plus
I'm
8,
good. Yeah.
I guess. Still, you've done 61 damage to the thing. It's not looking. I mean, it's
Happy.
looking fine because it's made
Yeah.
of shadows. And I'm gonna roll for the get everyone involved to roll for entangle.
That's a
So that'll
strength save?
include. So that's an entangle spell. You are counted as the caster, Morgan, so you don't have to roll.
Okay.
But for a full minute, creatures in this area must make a strength saving throw or be restrained. So Oogna, go ahead and do that, and I will roll for these things.
Oh. Rolls a 14 and I get a +8 on that, so I think I'm okay.
What's your spell save DC, Morgan?
17.
Oh, yeah. I'm
I
fine.
believe it's 17.
So these things for strength. Oh, they have nothing for a bonus on strength saving throws. That's actually a good one to use on them. So even the one who rolled well failed. I rolled a 15 on the die and a 3 on the die, so they both failed. They are both entangled by this entanglement spell. And Oogna, you are not. So you like the vines grab you and you like start snapping them and you can move.
I don't
Do
even
you
know
wish to
they're vines.
move? You haven't used your movement. You could move away from these things.
I will take an attack of opportunity if I do, I believe.
Is that for leaving? I thought that was for entering threatened area. I think it is leaving. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
leaving. So
Um,
I am.
Yeah, and they're just restrained, so they can
Yeah.
still attack, right?
Yeah.
They're not immobilized. Yeah, they just can't move. I'm pretty sure. Just double checking. Yes, they can. They would attack you at disadvantage, but they could attack you.
Honestly, Oogna's frightened right now, and she just attacked the shit out of them. I'm gonna give myself like a how under control I am, because if I just keep fleeing, I'm pretty blind panic actually.
Morgan's just riding her like
Yeah.
a wild bull. Ooh, easy,
Yeah, so
easy.
I'm continuing to bolt down the hallway. Not even.
Good.
I'll just eat the damage.
Yeah, so you can't move. So you're gonna go. You're basically gonna go past these things and
Yeah.
go by, and then they. So I'm gonna roll their attacks with disadvantage.
Yep.
So one of them has rolled a 19, which will
Ouch.
hit you, and a 16, which will still hit you.
Yeah. So I
And
take
the other
those two
one
attacks of
has
opportunity.
rolled. I think that low roll will miss you. It's a 4, but they do have a plus. You have an armor class of 12 right now. I think.
That's my
You
dex
determined because you don't have your
bonus?
armor.
Yeah, so that'll be a +2 from my
So
dex.
that'll hit then.
Yeah.
So make me the 2 saving throws versus paralysis.
Yep.
Again, it's Constitution 15, so you're
I didn't
You're
roll
in a
below a
decent-
5, so I'm good.
On both of them?
Yeah,
It's 2 rolls? Okay.
yeah. I
But
rolled
you
a
do
6
take
and a 9, which is nice.
you do take a bunch more cold damage. 12 and 10.
Okay,
That was a shitty roll. Second one was a shitty roll. You still up?
I'm still up.
Okay, so you do in fact like bolt through them, like between them, tearing like the vines have tangled around all of you, but you're just like ripping them free as you run. Like just they don't even they're like snap because you're too strong, and you bolt past the two of them and carry on down the hallway, and they do not follow because they're entangled. Okay, so let's. We're past break time, but I wanted to finish our round, so we're at the end of a round, so we can start at the beginning. Let's take our break now.
Sounds good.
And we'll pick it up for a shorter second half. We'll pick it up in maybe, like 5:30. Do a shorter
right.
break.
I'll
then
see
we'll
y'all in
wrap
a
it up.
few.
Okay, I'm gonna grab a drink.